Hey folks, James Abrinio coming to you from Abrinio Law. And in this video, I wanted to give you an important update coming to Virginia car insurance law, and particularly underinsured motorist coverage. And this will be taking effect in July 1st of 2023. And so let me just bring up the statute really quick. So when we're looking at this issue, we're going to be looking at Virginia Code Section 38.2 2206, and this talks about underinsured motorist coverage. And if you recall from my other videos, or if you know, underinsured motorist coverage, at least as it stands today, and I'm shooting this video December 19th of 2022, underinsured motorist or uninsured motorist, or UIM, is a type of insurance that kicks in only if the defendant, the person that caused your accident, is uninsured or underinsured relative to your insurance. So let's say, for instance, the defendant has a $25,000 liability policy, and let's say that you have a $100,000 claim, and let's say that you have 50,000 in UIM. Under the current laws, the amount of coverage is set at top based upon what your UIM is if it's above the defendant. So what I mean by that, in this scenario, the defendant has 25,000, you have 50, so your 50 is going to set the limits of insurance, car insurance, for your claim. So you would go after the defendant for 25,000, then you would go after your additional coverage for the additional 25,000. So you add that together, and that's 50. Now, as I said in the hypothetical, you have, let's assume you have a $100,000 claim. Well, in that scenario, you're not going to be fully compensated for your damages, and so that's unfortunate, at least by way of car insurance money. Now, there's other avenues, but whenever you're looking at your personal injury case, the first thing you need to be looking about is how much coverage it is. Now, under this new statute, and if you look, it's subsection A, but you go down to the second paragraph, and this says essentially, let me just highlight this really quick. The endorsement shall provide underinsured motorist coverage shall be paid without any credit for bodily injury or property damage coverage available for payment unless one named insured signs an election to reduce any underinsured motorist coverage for payments by the bodily injury, liability, or property damages available for payment by notifying the insurance carrier pursuant to this statute. So what does that mean? What that means is, under the new law coming effect in July of 2023, your UIM carrier no longer gets a credit for how much the defendant has, how much liability coverage the defendant has. So now the liability in your UIM will automatically stack together. They will stack on top of one each other rather than kind of blend together, because there is a credit for how much liability. So what that means is, in our hypothetical, uh, instead of your liability, the UIM getting a credit for the defendant's UIM. So instead of, sorry, instead of your UIM getting a credit for the defendant's liability coverage, they will have to stack on top of that. So instead of there only being 50,000 in coverage now in this hypothetical, there's actually 75,000, because you will go after the defendant's liability for 25, but you'll also have the full 50,000 of your UIM. So now you're stacking those on top of each other. The benefit under this hypothetical, obviously, is there's now $25,000 of extra coverage because your UIM doesn't get that credit. Now, under my hypothetical of a $100,000 claim, $100,000 value claim, you're still not getting full compensation for the $100,000 value claim, but getting $75,000 is way better than getting $50,000, in my view. I always tell people, and we're always recommending people here at Abrinio Law, we recommend that you get $1 million in UIM, and the reason being that you get a way to protect yourself. You don't have to rely on the financial responsibility of somebody that caused your accident, so you know how you're protected. It's usually only a couple $100 more a year, and you get the benefit of knowing that there's going to be money there, and it's only a couple $100 more a year. So it's definitely financially responsible thing to do, is to buy more UIM. It protects you and your family. Under this new statute, though, I want to be clear. If an insured neglects or elects to opt out of this new law, then you're out of luck. So when you're purchasing this, don't, after 2023, don't let an insurance adjuster or an insurance broker convince you to opt out of this because you'll save $10 or something like that a month. This is good value. It's a good financial investment. And far too often, I have clients or potential clients coming to me saying that they didn't buy $1 million in UIM because they weren't told. They were told they were fully covered. Just like that, this scenario requires some education. You have to take advantage of not opting out in this and take advantage of your full UIM policy. Don't let good advertisements and people talking at you convince you otherwise. So look, hopefully this video provided useful information that you can use going forward, so you have a better idea of what kind of insurance policy you should be looking at in July of 2023. Here's my information: email address, phone number, and web address. If you have questions, comment below. If you have questions, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can reach out to us directly. We try to do our best to reach as many people as possible, to educate as many people as possible, and hopefully add value. So wish you all the best of luck. Until we talk again, stay safe.